Hello, everyone. A quick yes or no in the chat if I'm audible and visible. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you. So, I hope everyone can see my screen where there is a prompt. So, because this is a session where we are going to learn and do some vibe coding, I want to know from you people, what is it that you want to build today? Drop some ideas in the chat and we might pick them up along the session. Go ahead, drop your app ideas in the chat before we start and we might pick them all along. E-commerce porters selling shoes and running athletic gear. Wonderful. Yes, we are going to start exactly at the time. So we are 6 minutes away from the time. We'll start in 6 minutes. Feel free to drop your ideas in the chat, guys. Yes, just 5 minutes to go. Yes, we have a health tracker request. Yes. Thanks a lot, Yuna, for doing all this. Wouldn't be possible without you and Grace. Mitali has an idea around investment guidance app. Krish has an idea around building something that can bridge physical and emotional world. Very interesting. Ajaraj build a tool that can track the prices of stock market and read the current news and give clear signal to users which stock to buy and what price and when to sell and what price to sell. Wonderful. That would be a gold mine if someone is able to create this. Yes. So this is also being live streamed on YouTube. So you'll anyways get the recording. Chatbot to explore space. Wonderful. Yes. Can you guys also tell me quickly in the chat which city are you logging in from today? NYC, Toronto, Delhi, Indore, Kuwait, Dallas, NYC, Montreal, Philadelphia, Delhi, Dallas, Vancouver, DXB, Lahore, Kanpur. Wonderful. Couple of more minutes before we go. Yeah, I'll request some more people to open their cameras. That way you'll feel focused in the session. and I'll feel more interactive in the session. Yeah, put your ideas in the chat, everyone. I think that would be very interesting to know what you guys are looking to build. You can see a prompt on the screen. What do you want to build today? Drop in the chat. We might pick up some idea from the chat only today. Yes. Pre-LinkedIn users can't find the right people efficiently. Search breaks when multiple keywords, years of experience, like filters missing, and advanced search is paywalled. We need a smarter, accessible search experience for everyone, not just premium users. We can do something about it. Yes, very interesting. Yeah, also people, I could see a lot of people from NYC. Tomorrow, we have a very interesting and a very filled event where people are going to meet each other offline and they are going to create some awesome things. Make sure you don't miss it. Yes. Yeah. Yes. In case anyone has missed on the NYC event, I'm also sharing a link in the chat. You guys can find more information here. Yes, I think we are right on time. Yes, it's 10 o'clock in India. I believe it's 11:30 there in New York. Now we are going to go ahead and start this session, guys. Cool. Just tell me, go ahead in the session. Go ahead in the chat if you are ready to go ahead with the session, everyone. Yes, amazing. We have 102 people to start with. Let's see where we reach till the middle of the session. Amazing. So welcome, everyone. Welcome today. Yes, so let me just go ahead and highlight myself. Yes, cool. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this session. I really respect your time that you have gone ahead and started to spend your weekend with us. So the next 60 or 90 minutes are going to be very fun-filled, full of activities. I'm not going to try to teach any kind of theory or any kind of prompt engineering hacks. But what I'll do is I'll try to go ahead and help you build something. And I'll ensure you that no matter what kind of background that you are coming from, in this session, my promise is that you will actually go ahead and build your first or nth app today. Right. And we are going to make sure that app is as helpful as possible. Right. So that is a simple agenda for the session today. Let me just go ahead and, without wasting the time, start the session. Yes. So this session is about masterclass on vibe coding. And we are going to convert ourselves from a consumer of AI to the creator of AI. Right. And this is going to be our agenda. First of all, I'm going to just share with you a couple of lines around what vibe coding is. I'm going to straight away go ahead and build a small app for you. Then we are going to discuss about a guide to vibe coding, which I'm going to open up for you. Then we are going to talk about the vibe coding flow, where we'll talk about what is the workflow of how do you go ahead and vibe code, how professionals vibe code. Then we'll build something together, and I'm also going to reveal to you multiple tools that you can use in order to vibe code. Right. And eventually, I'm going to give you in the end some next step where you are going to get some inspiration and you should be able to get some resources. Right. Very simple agenda. The purpose of today's session is to make sure that in the end, you have a working personal product. Right. If everyone has a shareable URL today, then this session is successful. right? But before I could start, before I could give you the end, can you guys tell me that before today, have you gone ahead and started or created any product of your own? No matter how simple that is. Tell me yes or no in the chat. Amazing. Lot of yeses, lot of no's. Yes. Amazing. Very good. So now we'll go ahead and first we will create the case for vibe coding. Okay. Let me just go back to my whiteboard. Right. Understand everyone that before 2022, this digital world was a bit different, right? Why 2022? Because in November 2022, we had an amazing product that was launched to the world. Okay. The product was GPT-3 and it was given to us as users in the form of Chat GPT, right? And with this, on the base of this particular foundation, a lot of amazing products were created. Okay. There was an amazing individual who lived in Europe. His name was Anton, and he, rather than thinking about whether AI is a hype or is it like a real thing, rather than debating about it, he started going ahead and started working on a product. And that product was very simple. So understand, in Chat GPT, what people were doing was they were going ahead using GPT in order to write some pieces of code, right? I'll maybe stop the chat for some time so that you guys are not distracting each other. Focus on the session, guys. Yes, the tool is FixJam. So what happened was, after Chat GPT was launched, many software developers, many newbie developers, old developers, they were using GPT in order to generate small pieces of code. But someone whose name was Anton, he understood that why am I only using Chat GPT in order to create these small pieces of code? If I just go ahead and put GPT in loop as in I can generate as long code as I want. And if I'm able to somehow put this code on a server, I should be able to go ahead and get a complete end-to-end product just by using the natural language, right? That was the unofficial start of something called as vibe coding. The term was not coined until 2024 or 2025, but in 2022 we have started to understand that yes, there could be something where we are able to take GPT, like these intelligent large language models, and we are able to put them into loops, and we are able to give them access to some tools such as servers and file system. We should be able to create end-to-end products with the help of these kind of products, right? And this person has gone ahead and created a very simple tool for developers called as GPT Engineer, right? The GPT Engineer was a GitHub repository where you will go, you will download the repository, you will give it some commands, and then it should be able to go ahead and create the complete website for you, right? Without you having to code. But he understood that a lot of people cannot go ahead and maybe write code, or maybe they can go ahead and maybe crawl that or consume that repository from GPT from GitHub. So he has gone ahead, worked harder, and created a tool which we know by the name Lovable today, right? And the product was so successful. Anton is the founder of Lovable, and the product was so successful that eventually Lovable become the world's fastest company to get to 100 million ARR, right? And the idea was very simple. That we have these large language models which can go ahead and generate top quality of code, right? Within seconds, without you having to think about it. So why don't we go ahead and give some more access to these large language models, and they should be able to create full, complete applications for us, right? That is vibe coding for you. So what is vibe coding? Vibe coding is you have an idea. Vibe coding is you have an idea, and then you vibe code, which is you are able to explain the code you are able to explain the use cases or the particular feature or the idea in the form of natural language, whatever your language is, and then it should be able to give you a working product, right? This is the idea of vibe code, right? Recently, like I would say initially, people who were just toying around few ideas, they were using vibe coding. But right now, vibe coding has entered the enterprises. Many internal tools at companies such as Salesforce, such as Amazon, are being built using these vibe coding tools. Right. So this is the potential of vibe code. And also understand, everyone, for a product manager, if you are a product manager or a product builder, the major bottleneck for a product manager was always the engineering team. That you will spend a lot of time in order to get the ideas. But what will happen? You will give it to the engineers, and then engineers will take months or weeks or maybe some more longer period of time in order to develop the products. But vibe coding changes everything. You are able to test your ideas as soon as possible so that engineers are able to work on the right features in the right possible way rather than just testing the ideas. Right. So this is the power of vibe coding, and almost every major company these days, they are embracing vibe coding, not only for, let's say, their external products, but more importantly for their internal products. Right. So this is the case for vibe coding. Vibe coding is important because understand, most of the time that we spent in building the product was actually spent in building the technology and the coding, which was not the most productive time, which was not the most productive expenditure of your time. Now what has happened is that you can focus more on talking to your users, understanding what to build, do the right market research, and making sure that your product is actually getting adopted to the users rather than spending a lot of time in just to go ahead and write the code. Right. So remember this, when today everyone can build anything with the help of vibe coding, what are you going to build has become more important. Right. So this was the theory. Now let me go ahead and tell you. Now let me go ahead and give you an example. Okay, so I'll go ahead and go to, okay, before I could go to any tool, I will ask a question to you guys. Which is your favorite vibe coding tool? Yes. Cool. So yes, the person with the least number of votes is Google AI Studio. So we are going to start from there. Okay. Yes. Cool. Let me go ahead and build a product maybe. Yes. I'll create a product. Okay. So look at this. I'm just creating a simple product. Okay. The product is create a AI roaster, AI resume roaster, which is going to take a resume as a upload PDF or a copy paste text and do a funny roast of the resume. Right? Let's do this. Yes, I am using Google AI Studio, but feel free to use any tool. Okay. Understand, in the world of AI, when everyone is able to create so many tools, you should not limit yourself to only one tool. Okay. Feel free to explore, feel free to land upon the tool that you like. Yes. This is not a paid version, I believe. This is not a paid version. This is like a free Gemini. So I've searched for Google AI Studio. It landed me to its page. I have clicked on build app. Then I have given a very simple prompt, which was create a AI resume roaster, which is going to take a resume as an upload or PDF, copy paste text, and do a funny roast of the resume. Yes. While this is loading, let me go ahead and give you something more interesting. So to accompany with this session, I have created this detailed guide on vibe coding for everyone, right? Because I did not wanted to make this session about theory, I wanted to make this session more around practice. What I have done is all the theory that you need to know, all the information that you need to know, and all the foundation that you need to know in order to be a great or a pro vibe coder is available in this guide, right? So you can, I will go ahead and share the URL at the end of the session today. You can just go ahead and look at this content. Okay. We are first going to talk about what is the flow. Here is the complete flow of how to go ahead and vibe code any app like a professional. Then we are going to talk about what is the mindset that you need to have. There is a comparison of all the popular tools along with their pricing, like the latest pricing, right? When should be used, when, what is the strength and what is the limitation, right? And you keep on following that, you should be able to understand which is the best tool for you. But understand, don't trust this guide 100% for this particular part, because what happens is these features, like these products keep on improving. So I'm sure that after 1 year, all of them would be at a feature parity, right? And then we have also talked about some, let's say, some advanced vibe coding tool, which are IDEs or products such as Cursor, Anti-Gravity and all, right? And then I have also mentioned a prompting guide, right? Which is how you should go ahead and create your prompt. So right now I have given a very simple prompt to Google AI Studio, but now you can go ahead and improve your prompts in order to go ahead and give better instructions to AI. Right. I have also mentioned a framework called a script. Some people might be aware about the same, which is giving a context, telling the requirements, telling about the interface requirements, scope, and what do you need as a platform. Right. I have also mentioned multiple workflows, a lot of exercises that you can do. Understand, you only learn by course correction. So I've mentioned a lot of exercises here as well. And then eventually I have mentioned a very strong visual library. I'm going to tell you what it is in just a moment. Let me see if this is built. Yes, so I think our product is ready. Let me see. Yes. So this is Roast My Resume. Looks very good, right? I just gave it a couple of line of prompts and I was able to get this, right? Yes. Now I can go ahead and I can try to upload a PDF maybe. Yes, I have a very old resume, so please don't judge me for what you see now. Yes. Even your file is broken. Maybe let me see what has happened there. Yes. So maybe I'm getting this prompt. So what should I do? What should I do, guys? I should just click on this button. You can look at this button. Just give me a moment. Where is my pencil? Yes. So I'll click on this button. Look at this button, right? So what I'll do is I will click on this button. Then I'll take this screenshot and I will add resolve this error, right? And then I will click on add to chat. And then I'll click on this. Yeah, requesting everyone to please do not spam the chat with links. You will get all the links, guys. Don't need to worry about it. Just focus on the session right now. Yeah, so what we have done is I have given a simple prompt. It was able to create an amazing UI. However, I was running into an error. The error was that it failed to read my file. So what I've done is I have just taken the screenshot and I'm giving it again to Google AI Studio. This is called as learning by course correction. Yes, it has started working. Yes, I will also request some of you people to go ahead and also try the same prompt in your Lovable or Google AI Studio or Bolt or anywhere you want to. Let's see now. Same error. Let's see what I can do. Yes, so now you can see that if we go ahead and blindly follow, it is not following the instructions. Okay, so I'll go ahead and write getting this error even when the file is correct. Right. I can also go ahead and try one more thing, which is I can just go ahead. Yes, while it is working, let's move ahead. I'm sure it will work in some time. Yes. So the case for vibe coding is, just give me a moment. Yes. So the case for vibe coding is that so far, most of the product teams and individuals and entrepreneurs were blocked because of the engineering bandwidth. And engineers also at most of the period of time, while they need to focus on the architecture, the security, the user needs, they had to focus on coding because coding would take a lot of their time. But now with large language models, you can go ahead and give the instructions to the large language model through the help of tools such as Cursor, Anti-Gravity, Claude or something, and they should be able to go ahead and generate the code for you. Okay, because of which now this is the time in place where we are able to see that yes, we are able to create so many products where the cost of product does not matter. Initially, a product manager has to focus too much on prioritization so that they are only able to test the ideas which they are sure about. But now there is more room for experimentation for every product manager, right? And even in many of the product management interviews at Google, Amazon, Meta, and multiple other startups, you will see that vibe coding has been added as a integral round. Right. Now, look at these titles and tell me in the chat, guys, how many of you agree with these? Look at these titles and tell me how many of you agree with these. Yes. Yes. So we all have our opinions. Understand, many people agree, many people do not agree. But understand here, there is definitely some reality in this. Okay, understand, AI or any other piece of technology is like fire. Fire, when you go ahead and use it in the best possible way, it can go ahead and help you cook your food and help you keep warm. But when you are not using it in the most responsible way, it can also go ahead and burn out the entire forest or the entire civilization. Right? This is how you should also look at AI. Many people, they are doing a mistake by actually going ahead and going to AI for each and every problem that they face. And it's not wrong to go to AI for each and every problem that you face, but maybe for some of the situations, you should first consider thinking critically about the problem before going to the AI. Right? So very recently, what happened was that we were hiring a bunch of people at HelloPM, right? And maybe within a couple of days of posting that particular job, we were able to get around 800 to 900 submissions for that particular role. And because humanly it was not possible for us to go through all of these 800, 900 resumes at once, what we did was we have just gone ahead and floated a simple case study round that you go ahead and do this. And then if you are interested, you can do this. If you don't do this, then if you are able to do this well, we should be able to take you to the second round, right? To our surprise, out of these 800, 900 people, almost 600 people have submitted the case studies. But when we were observing these case studies and the assignment, we were able to see that almost 90% of them were almost 90% similar. Right? So we were able to understand that although there was some content, some objective answers in all of the questions that people have answered, but it was easily understood that all of the people could not have the same taste. So they were using AI in order to go ahead and do something that they should have done, which is thinking critically. When someone is hiring you as a product manager, product builder, they are not only hiring you for just going ahead and building stuff. That I'm going to teach you in this session that you can do it within 10 to 20 minutes. Okay. The major issue is that how do you go ahead and arrive at the problem? How do you arrive at the solution? What is the research that you do? Right. So vibe coding is not the ultimate part. The ultimate part is what is the research, user research, market research, business research that you do before going ahead and building the problem. Right. And a major mistake that many people are making is, which I have seen in many product managers, is many people, what they do is they are using, like they are going ahead and spending a lot of time in order to build products, but they are spending a lot less time in order to understand what to build. Okay, which is people are building AI tools in order to replace product discovery. And they are so much interested in prototyping that they are going ahead and spending hours of their days and maybe weeks of their months in order to go ahead and build something that other people might be doing. Right. So this is the mindset shift that I need to give you today. Right. Look at this very carefully, everyone, and tell me on a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you agree with this? Yes. Yes. So your taste, your judgment, your willingness to go ahead and do a lot of things by yourself, doing the hard work, is going to be your differentiator in the coming time. The coding part, the development part is not going to matter a lot. Okay, if I can teach you something in just 1 hour, and I can promise the same thing to all the 300, 400 people or 200 people who are in this session today, you understand what is going to be the value of that skill for the long run. Right? So understand that what to build and why to build is more important than how to build it. Right? So remember this, from using AI to save time, many people are making this mistake that they understand, they think that this is where I'm spending most of the time. Why can't I go ahead and give it to AI? That is a major mistake. For example, if your customers are churning and you are still using AI in order to understand their patterns of churning, then you are doing a mistake. You should go ahead, look at all the reviews, read them very carefully, and then try to go ahead and take a decision. Right? Now let us go ahead and see if our product is working now. Yes. Fingers crossed again. I've also renamed the file as well. Yes, now it is working. Not sure whether it is because of rename or something else. Now let's roast. Yes. This is brutal. Oh, look, another entrepreneurial product leader. I would leave for you guys to read this. Too embarrassing. Yes. Look at these mistakes that I have made in my resume. Right. We were able to do this within few minutes by just giving couple of prompts and couple of iterations. Right. And understand, guys, the purpose of this session is to tell you that how easy is vibe coding. Right. And many people go ahead and they are afraid of vibe coding because they think that this is not very secure. Okay. I'm sure that many people would have this kind of question. Okay. So before I could go ahead and ask, like tell you on your behalf, tell me, guys, what is your number one apprehension around vibe coding? Tell me in the chat, what is your number one apprehension around vibe coding? Hallucination. Very good. Second is deployment. Very good. Third is maintenance. Then somebody told me learning the tool. Then we have how to scale. What is the security? API keys connection. Infrastructure. Infra. Reliability. More, guys, more. Yes. Cool. I think we have, yes. I think we have gone ahead and put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly 10 reasons, right? Why people are apprehensive about vibe coding. Now, guys, honestly tell me, like put your hand on your heart and tell me, do you think that tools these days are not able to solve these problems? Tell me yes or no in the chat if you think they are not able to solve these problems. People who have been going ahead and using some vibe coding tools for initial few months, tell me yes or no if today's tool are able to solve these problems. Yes. So when we are today the date is What 7th of March 2026? Right now, today, all of these problems are almost solved, right? Or a sane product builder should be able to solve these. For example, the hallucination rates of models have gone considerably down, right? The product managers who are building Lovable, AI Studio and all, they understand that there is hallucination. So they have put enough guardrails to make sure that the model does not hallucinate. Plus, if you are getting some hallucinated code, you are going to have your own guardrails as well. Guardrails means you are going to test the product. Right now, we created a product. I tested the product. It was not working. So I'm not going to deploy it. I can give it a couple of iterations so that this hallucination can be reduced. Right. Second is deployment. Many people think that deployment is difficult. Guys, deployment has become one-click deployment. Okay. You can just go here. You can click on publish. You can select your project. And then it is ready to do. Within 2 minutes, you should be able to deploy. And where are you deploying this? You are actually deploying this where actual google.com is deployed, where the most trafficked search engine of the world, the most trafficked LLM of the world is deployed. You are using the same infra as Google is using, which is Google Cloud Run. Similarly, for Vercel, for V0, for Lovable, they are using the best in class AWS or Google Cloud Service providers. Right? So this is solved. What about maintenance? Is maintenance solved, guys? A quick yes or no if the maintenance is solved. Yes, maintenance is also solved, right? What you can do these days is, let's say you have gone ahead and you as a product manager have created the version 1 of the product. You have deployed it. But now your engineers have to maintain it. What they can do is they can just go ahead and click on this small button. They can go ahead and click on this small button, maybe somewhere here. Where is that? GitHub. Right? When they click on GitHub, they are going to get all the code in their organization's GitHub. Then they can use another vibe coding tool or another IDE called as Cursor or Anti-Gravity. Then they should be able to understand the whole code base and they should be able to manage the code base really, really well. Right? And both of the things are synced. If anything changes there, it reflects in your Google Studio. If anything changes in Google Studio or Lovable, it reflects in your code base. Right? So maintenance problem is solved. How many of you think this is the problem, learning the tool? Yes, not a problem at all. Right? These tools are much simpler than Canva. Right? I have seen kids as young as 5, 6, 7 years old. They are using vibe coding tools and they are building their own calculators for themselves. Right? All of the tools are super simple. Just understand, many people, what they have done is they have not even gone ahead and created an account on Lovable or Google AI Studio so far. Because you have not gone ahead and created your account, you have not given your first prompt, you are not understanding the simplicity. Right? When people are saying that building product has been democratized, there is actually a reason for the same, because these tools have actually made things simpler. Right? And some people also tell me that prompt engineering is a skill. Let me tell you, yes, that's a skill. But that's a skill that you can learn in just going ahead and prompting an AI just 50 to 100 number of times. If you keep on iterating, if you keep on giving the prompt, learn from it, course correct, I'm sure you don't need any guide. You should be able to learn this prompting and learning the tool by yourself. Right? Scale, I have already told you. Right now, on all the vibe coding platforms, what you can do is, if you are using a platform such as Lovable, if you are using a platform such as Google AI Studio, or using a platform such as Bolt. These are powered by Amazon Web Services. These are powered by Vercel. This is powered by Google itself, which makes sure that you will definitely not have any issues in scaling. Yes, you should be willing to pay, but you would have no issues in scaling. Right? These are the products. Right? So scale has been solved. And if you are using, let's say you are using Claude Code or Cursor, something locally, then you can just go ahead, ask your IDE that I want to deploy this code very securely on AWS or Google GCP, Google Cloud Provider. What should I do? It will give you all the instructions to go ahead and do so. Initially, you need to add a couple of DevOps engineer in order to do all of this. Now an AI can do it for you. Right? Security. The best way to secure our application is to go ahead and first give it a prompt. That what could be the obvious security flaws in this particular app. Ask the AI to review that. Okay. And then go ahead and give it to an engineer. They are better judges for this particular thing. Right? APIs keys connection. This is solved. You just go ahead and ask that what is the most secure way to go ahead and put my APIs keys into this product. And then the product itself will go ahead and tell you. Infra reliability, we have already talked about. Right? How many of you think legal and data are issues? Tell me guys, how many of you think, yes or no, if legal and data are issues? Yes. So understand guys, with vibe coding apps, legal and data is not an issue. The legal and data is an issue because you do not understand the technology and you do not understand the law. Right? Indian fintech laws says that you cannot go ahead and give the personally identifiable information of your users to a server that is outside India. Right? So what you can do is you can take your code base. You can use Cursor in your machine. Cursor does not save your code. It just saves indexes. So they are secure. Right? And then you can go ahead and build the product from there. Similarly, Lovable, very recently, they have started offering you the cloud service. And you can choose the deployment area of that cloud so that you are regularly aware. You are regulatory covered. Right? For the breaches of data, you can go ahead and appoint a third-party agency. Understand, AI is not a magic. It is going ahead and writing the same code that your engineers were writing. You have to understand how you are going to orchestrate this system so that it is secure. AI is not fetching your data. AI is not stealing your data. Your cloud infrastructure is not in a shape that you are able to confidently go ahead and use AI over there. So the problem is orchestration. The problem is orchestration. If you are giving your all customer files to GPT and asking it to analyze it, that is a security breach. But if you create a product with vibe coding, which only contains the code and not any information about your users, then you are not at risk. Right? So tell me guys, out of 1 to 10, are there now any practical limitations that are stopping you from creating any full-fledged product with vibe coding? Tell me yes or no if you are able to understand this. Yes. Now you have to look at this. Okay. Now, definitely now everyone comes down to this particular conclusion, which is cost. Right? Understand the cost. You are actually looking at this cost from a perspective of an individual who is never going to develop anything. Right? But if you look at an individual who was dying to go ahead and hire an engineer in order to build their dream project or build something for their company. For them, this cost is nothing. Understand, if you are using Claude Code's max platform, like the max plan, which is $200, you can code almost 3 to 8 full-fledged web apps. Give me the name of an engineer who should be able to do this, even with just $2,000. Right? So understand what is the cost that you are comparing. And the second part is, as we are scaling, in the last 4 years, the cost have token and the intelligence of the machine has already gone more than 2x. The cost has reduced in half and the intelligence has gone more than 2x. Okay, so we are now going to catch the economies of scale in terms of cost. So the cost is going to reduce, but the value is still uncomparable as compared to you giving a real money to an engineer. And understand, engineer is not only going to take money, they are also going to take time. Right. So tell me, guys, what is the excuse that you have right now to not wipe code? Tell me the excuse that you have right now in order to not wipe code. Yes. Right. With so many tools, most of them offer you a very free generous plans. And tomorrow, on the occasions of Women's Day, Lovable is giving away their premium plans for free for 1 day. So you can go ahead and optimize this, but make sure that you understand really critically that right now you have no excuses to not build anything. Right. Now, what is the flow of creating a product? Guys, understand, although I'm going to share with you a very detailed guide on vibe coding, but I would request everyone to keep vibe coding as simple and logical as possible. Okay, if you start learning very complicated frameworks, you are just going to go ahead and either confuse yourself or you are going to make it more complicated than it really is. Okay, whenever you go ahead and pursue any kind of product idea, you should go ahead and ask yourself that what it would look like if it was simple, what it would look like if it was easy or it was simple, right? Then pursue it. So a very simple flow is describe. I have gone ahead and described the app in 2 lines. After that, it generated the code. I reviewed the code, it did not work. So I again iterated it. It will work, it is very good. Otherwise, I'm going to describe it. And then I'm going to generate it, then I'm going to review it, and then I'm going to iterate it. Right? You have to keep it this simple. No matter what kind of tool that you use, describe, generate, review, and iterate. Right? If you try to give too much context at once, generally you'll not be able to go ahead and debug really well. Right? So now what is the flow? How do you create a vibe coded product like a professional? Okay. Point number 1. Is clarity. Point number 1 is clarity. Okay, understand? There are 2 kinds of builders. Someone who is building to learn how to build. If you are in that category, then by all means, go to Claude, go to GPT, give it the prompt, generate the requirements, give this requirement to Lovable or Google AI Studio, you are okay. Right? But if you are building a product like a product manager or a true product builder, not to just learn, but to actually go ahead and build something useful for the users or for the people around you, then you need to go ahead and get some clarity. How do you get clarity? The first thing is go ahead and document by yourself. Who are the users? What are the problems that they are facing? How your app solve these problems? Okay. And this documentation should not be generated from your own mind. You should actually go ahead and talk to some users. You should actually go ahead and do some research around the idea, which is called as the market research. Right. Now, everyone, I have a question for you. Okay. From the start of the session to so far, I have gone ahead and told you the case of vibe coding. I have shown you a particular app. I have given you some mindset shift. I have also given you this. Okay. Now, everyone, go ahead. Tell me, like, take 30 seconds and tell me in 2 lines, what was the major thing that you are able to learn? What did you learn from these 45 minutes in the session? Everyone, take 30 seconds and write it down in the chat. In 2 sentences, what did you learn so far? Yes. Cool. Now, are you guys able to recognize a pattern? To all the 270 people in the chat, I have given you exactly the same content for the 45 minutes. Right? I have given all of you exactly the same content for 45 minutes. But everyone has their own unique learning. Someone is talking about taking action. Someone is talking about focusing on business and users rather than product. Someone is talking about how we are able to answer these 10 apprehensions. Understand? I have given the same content, but everyone has prioritized different kind of learning altogether. Right? What you should learn from this exercise is that this is your power as a human. Right? Every human thinks in a different way. Right? This is what you contribute on the table. Okay. When you go ahead, if I would have given the summary of this particular session, like say 45 minutes of this session to an AI, I am sure most of the AIs would go ahead and give me 3 or 4 kinds of answers. Right? But now, because you were a human, everyone was able to go ahead and think from a different direction. Right? So the purpose of this exercise was to go ahead and show you that particular value. Okay. When you are working with AI, always remember this quote, which is good is the enemy of best. Which is, if you go to AI and if you ask it a question, it is definitely going to give you an answer. If you are a human who gets happy with the good enough answer, you'll be happy. Yes, I have got the answer. But if you are not thinking deeper about it, if you are not putting your opinions, your perspective, your research on top of it, you will be missing on something which is the best. Right? So now you are able to see the beauty of your own thinking, that humans are able to think in a different way, which right now cannot be gone ahead and replaced by AI. So what you should do as a product manager or product builder is first get the clarity. Don't rely too much on the AI to give you the clarity. Yes, you can give all of these prompts to AI eventually, but right now what you should do is document by yourself, put all of your research together, do the user research, do the market research, then ask AI to find out the gaps and suggest some more ideas that you could have missed. Right? That is how you create apps which are not going to look like similar to each other. Right? Now, after you have got the clarity, then you should go ahead and use AI. Right? In AI, what you can do is you have to give a very simple prompt. The prompt is, this is the idea, which is you are going to document everything. And then you are going to ask it to create a PRD. Understand, you don't have to give a detailed prompt. These days, most of the AI that you are going to use, you are probably going to use GPT-5 or Claude or Gemini. Most of these are intelligent enough to know what a PRD is. Right? So this, right? This is the second step. Go ahead and create a PRD. Right? If you want, you can also ask it to go ahead and create your PRD into phases. Right? Create your PRD into phases. Right? Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, so that you are not overwhelming the model at once. Right? And the third part is, go ahead and use a tool. What could be the tool? The tool could be Lovable or Bolt or Google AI Studio, anything that you want to use. Right? Many people, what they do is, they generally do not know what to tell the AI, which is, should I have a minimal UI? Most of the people, when they want to create a website, they just write that, give me a modern, sleek interface. Right? How many people use the words such as modern, sleek in order to create your landing pages? Tell me in the chat, how many people are using modern, sleek, or dark mode in order to create your landing pages with the help of AI? Yes. So here you can go ahead and do a quick research. What you can do is, I understand that most of the people do not know about this, right? Most of the people do not know about this. I even also do not know about this, but there's a method to research. What you can do is, if you are not able to find the right inspiration, right, what you can do is just go to this website called as Dribbble.com, right, and keep on looking at items. For example, if you are creating a testimonial screen, you can search for testimonials. You can get a lot of inspiration, right? And you can give it a screenshot of, this is what you need to, this, like, go ahead and create in this particular format. Right? Another method, which is, some people might call it borderline stealing, but let's see. You can go to Webflow. Then you can click on templates. And then you can put any of these templates, like click on any of these interesting templates, take screenshots, and then give it to AI. That go ahead and replicate this thing. Right? In case you are interested in actually learning about these, then in the coding guide, I have also mentioned this visual glossary. Okay. Many people do not know words beyond, let's say, neomorphism or something like that, right? So what you can do is, I have created this guide where multiple kinds of modern styling is formed, which is glass morphism, neomorphism, neobrutalism, bento grids. Okay, you will just go through this guide once and you should be able to understand how you can go ahead and put all of these prompts together. Right? So this is also a handy guide for you that you can go ahead and use. Guys, all of these resources will be sent with you guys. Don't worry about the resources. Okay, so get inspiration. And in order to understand the tool, in order to learn the tool, please guys understand, yes, you can search on YouTube and learn about the tool, but generally these tools are developing very fast. Okay, one important skill that is going to help you out in the long run is the ability to learn. And ability to learn is not a skill that you can learn from anywhere. You will be learning it by exposing yourself to multiple scenarios, exposing yourself to discomfort. Many people, what they think is that right now I do not have these skills, and then magically there will be a time where I'll have these skills. People forget that between these two status of not having the skill and having the skill, there is a big bridge of the zone of uncomfort. Right? There is a big bridge of zone of uncomfort or discomfort. Right? You need to make sure that you understand that if you are facing some kind of discomfort, that is actually an indicator that you are making some progress. Right? So make sure that rather than only relying on some tutorial or courses or videos in order to watch, you should go ahead and get your hands dirty in the tool. I'm sure you should be able to go ahead and learn a lot more. And more than learning, you'll get a confidence in yourself that if I was able to learn this tool without any help, I should be able to do anything. Right? And then the fourth part is deploy. Every product these days has a quick to deploy button. Right? If you are using a product, let's say you are not using a simple vibe coding tool. If you are using a product such as Cursor or Claude Code, or what do we call it, OpenClaw, then you can go ahead and create an account on AWS or Google Cloud Provider, Google Cloud Platform, or you can create on Vercel. They will give you API keys. Give the API keys to these three people. They are going to deploy and manage the whole server for you. Right? So this is what you need to do. Okay. It cannot be more simpler than this. Right? Everyone tell me on a scale of 1 to 5. Tell me on a scale of 1 to 5. If I give you a question right now, would you be able to develop a product or not? Cool. So now understand, you are understanding everything. Most of you want to become AI product builders and AI product managers. And then you go to the companies, you say that, boss, I can also go ahead and do AI. But when people ask why we should go ahead and give you a chance, you say that because I am passionate. You say that I'm passionate, but that is not enough. You have to go ahead and showcase the work. Understand, guys? Today, there is no excuse. There is no excuse that you can make to not build products. So people do not want to see your degrees. They do not want to see what you can do. They want to see what you have done. So there is no excuse to that. Right? Now, going to the next part. Okay, let's go ahead and build something. Okay, I have given you enough information for today. But as I have told you that information has never helped anyone. Information has never helped anyone. We need to convert that information into knowledge. How do we do this? We do this with the help of action. So we are going to build something. Okay, so this is the problem statement, guys. Look at the problem statement carefully. Build an app that takes a job description and converts that into a interview preparation guide. Understood? What happens is right now, you look at the job description. Then you start preparing for what are the different kind of questions that are going to be asked in this interview. You prepare, you buy some books, and you do a lot of things. But what happens is a job description might not even ask for these things. For example, when you are searching for a Google's product management interview, you are going to see 100 questions. The job description for the job description, maybe 4 or 5 might be relevant. Other things might not be relevant. Okay. So I'm sure most of you, when you go ahead and apply for a job, you search for product management questions or maybe any kind of job description and questions in that particular part, right? For that particular interview. Okay. And then you do your research. I want you to build a product for yourself where you can just paste a job description and then it will generate a complete interview preparation guide for you. Right? A quick yes on everyone if you're able to understand the problem statement. Yes. Now, everyone, what you need to do is everyone has to go ahead and build a product. You can use any tool, Lovable or Claude Code or any tool that you have. You can go ahead and do this. Okay. What you can do is first you have to build this product. After that, go to this URL. Okay. And then submit the form along with the link to your product. Everyone who builds a product like a working product, they are going to get the certification of this particular session, which is you will get a certification on Masterclass on vibe coding, along with all the resources that I have promised. Yes. Write start in the chat if you are starting with your work. Yes. So I'm going to give you exactly 15 minutes to do so. Okay. So I'll just go ahead. Just give me a moment. I'll also paste this here. Where is the question? Yes. 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 I think many products have mobile apps now, so you can also do it on your mobile app while walking. Yes, I'll start the timer and I'll give you 15 minutes for this. Just give me one moment. Yes, so this is the prompt. This is the link to submit. And this is the timer. 13 minutes, everyone. Go ahead. Let's build something. I've mentioned the link in the chat for people who are uh, on mobiles, who are not able to scan. Go ahead, everyone. I want to also see the screenshots. Yeah. People who are sharing the links, like who are sharing the screenshots, please also share the screenshot of the outcome, which is put a sample job description. You can search for any job description from the internet, paste it there, and also show me the result. Don't just show me the blank screen. Wonderful. I could see 38 people have gone ahead and submitted. 38 people have gone ahead and submitted. I need more people. There are almost 220 people in the chat. Please go ahead, everyone. Let's see few. Cool. We are done with the timer, guys. Tell me I am back if you are back in the session. Yes. How many of you need more time? Like, how many of you need a couple of more minutes? Cool. Great. So, yes, I could see that almost 70 people, 73 people have actually built the app. So, fantastic, guys. Out of 200, if 70 people are actually going ahead and building something within 10-15 minutes, that's really uh, a big thing for you folks, right? Congratulations to everyone who was able to build. I'm sure you are not going to stop here. So go ahead and improve this product. For now, I have a request for everyone. I'm sharing a link in the chat. Everyone, if you are finding the value from the session, please go ahead, take a couple of minutes while everyone else can develop their products. Everyone who is done, please take a couple of minutes in order to go through this LinkedIn post and tell me how you are feeling in the session right now. Share your honest feedback in the comment. Everyone, please go ahead. I have shared a link in the chat. Everyone go to that and share your honest comment about the feedback on that post. That will help us take this session to more people so that everyone can watch the recording and consume the resources. Go ahead. I'm giving everyone 1 minute before we could resume the session. Cool. Now, people who are done, I want some volunteers who are going to help me do a live exercise right now. Okay. People who are looking for a job right now and people who are willing to act as volunteers right now, please raise your hands. I'm going to unmute you and I'm going to ask you a few questions. Okay. Yes, everyone, even if you have built or not built, please forget about it. Focus on the session right now. We are going to do an exercise. Building job preparation guide. Okay. User interviews. So you guys are now able to understand what I'm trying to do. Okay. So I'm going to talk to few users about their experiences. Okay. Let me see whom I can talk. Maybe I'll pick. Okay. People who are willing to be volunteers, please also open your cameras. It's important to open your cameras. Cool. I'll pick. Yes. I'll pick Arpita for this. Arpita, I have tried to unmute you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Hello, Arpita. How are you?
Good. How are you? I'm audible, right?
Yes, Arpita, you're audible. Arpita, you have told that you have been, you are looking to be a volunteer and you are also looking for a job. Is that correct? Yes. So can you tell me what kind of roles that you are looking for, Arpita?
So I'm looking for a basically product and related roles. So product manager, product marketing, user research, and also probably business analyst if I cannot crack a product role as such directly. So. Yeah.
Understood. Thank you, Arpita. Arpita, can you tell me, like, right now, how are you going ahead and finding the job?
So I'm basically relying on the platforms like Naukri and then the referral process and LinkedIn.
Okay, understood. And when you look at a, let's say, a job, when you come across a job, how do you prepare for that?
So I go through the job description and I see the matching skills or the requirement for the jobs. And then I prepare for. So then first of all, I try to update the resume if little bit is required. Like if some last minute touch is required to my resume, pertaining like specifically related to that job description. So that I do. And apart from that, yeah, I just brush up on the skills which I'm already upskilling on, relevant to that job description or that role.
Yeah, you told me that you brush up on these skills. How do you exactly do that, Arpita?
Yeah, so basically if I have my own prepared notes, so I revise that, or else I go to the online sources like YouTube channels and like online the case studies and stuff which are already available, uploaded online, or there are some ebooks, so I revise that or I practice that in like new cases.
Okay. You also talked about practice, right? Very important. So how do you practice?
Sometimes I just pick up the question and I practice on myself and then I refer the solutions. If I happen to be lucky, then I get some friend or some colleague who can I practice like mock practice as partner.
Okay, very good. Have you also gone ahead, Arpita? So you have told me about revising the notes and YouTube and case studies and ebooks. Uh, do you also use any kind of AI tools in order to help you with all of this process?
So for like little bit upgrading my resume and stuff, chat GPT,
Hmm.
and then I also upload the job description, or I like kind of ask the basically GPT and Claude to give me some idea for the roadmap or something like that. Let's say if I have some job role is coming in a month or so. So this is a in general process, not for specifically for one jobber. So I give my this, so okay, I want to crack a PM role in a month or so. So it will give me some roadmap kind of stuff. So that I try to do. And pertaining to the specifically job or perspective, yeah, I basically give it a job description and stuff, and I'll ask how should I update my resume on the base of that, or what additional skills I should have. So
Very good.
yeah.
Arpita, can you also tell me, I think very good insights. Can you also tell me that in all of this process of finding a job, I'm sure it could get very stressing because finding a job is difficult in this market. What about this preparation for the interview and getting insights and preparing for the job frustrates you the most?
Okay. So for me, basically, I think updating the resume, first of all, like many times you have to update like each particular resume. So for that reason, like if your resume should exactly match that ATS and it should crack that thing. That is one thing. And another thing is sometimes we just feel that we are like cold applying, and like in stuffs like LinkedIn where the job does not actually exist, and but still it is there on such platforms and we apply, and it's like there is no, I mean, meaning to it, because it's just nobody is going to, yeah, look at that. So that is one thing. Another thing is, yes, like job applying is you have a very less time in hand, like all this process while applying and then updating your resume and stuff. The actual preparation time you get less, and all this process you end up spending more time, I feel.
Understood. Uh, so, Arpita, I was
Yeah.
able to understand that getting shortlisted in an interview appears more like an issue for you rather than cracking the interview right now. Is that the correct understanding?
Sorry, can you come again?
For you right now, it looks like from this conversation that getting into an interview is more important for you right now, is more frustrating rather than cracking the interview because you are getting less opportunities. Is that the correct understanding?
Oh, yes, correct. So with this ATS thing and this ghost job which you wrote, I think, yeah, it's correct. To get the right interview or the right role that we are eyeing
Hmm.
is like, yeah.
Understood. So, have you gone ahead and given any interview so far, Arpita?
Uh, no, not for the specific roles I'm looking into. I give some other roles, but I don't plan to continue with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Thanks a lot, Arpita. I think this is going to be very helpful. Thanks a lot for your time.
I hope I was able to give like good
Yes,
insight
yes, yes.
to
You
it.
are very helpful. Yes. Thank you, Arpita. Cool. And after Arpita, I'll take one more interview to understand. Maybe Tiffany, you want to go ahead? Maybe I'll unmute you. Yes. Just give me a moment. Yes. Go ahead, Tiffany. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing great, Tiffany. Thanks a lot for being a volunteer today. Tiffany, can you please help me understand what stage are you in, what kind of job that you're looking for, and what is the progress right now?
Yeah, so I've been looking for a job for about like 4 months now. Similar roles to Arpita. So like associate product manager roles, associate program manager, business analyst, systems analyst. I was working as a business systems analyst for the past 3 years, and my role was recently impacted by a restructuring. So it's already been like 4-ish months now, and I also am in New York. So
Understood. Cool. And right now, what is your process of finding job? Like, what is your day-to-day looks like when you are looking for aggressively to get a job?
yeah, so I've been really targeting smaller companies. So just like when I'm going through LinkedIn, also doing the referral process, but really targeting smaller companies that have a little bit more autonomy. So ones that are like around like 500 people.
Hmm. Understood. Why that specific reason for targeting smaller companies? Is it just because you think they are easier to get in, or you are going to get the right kind of work culture that you are aspiring for?
I think it's kind of what I want to look for in my new job. Like I want more autonomy in my new job and to have my work to have more impact. And I think that's more possible at smaller firms. And I also think in my experience, those companies tend to they're more responsive during just even landing the interview process when I'm reaching out to them. Whereas big companies where there's like 1,000+ people and I'm reaching out to them, they're not really responding at all.
Hmm. Understood. Great. One more thing that if let's say you are getting shortlisted, you are looking at a job description, how would you go ahead and prepare for an interview for the job?
The way that I usually prepare is I copy and paste the entire the job description into ChatGPT, and I say, oh, like I'm interviewing a person for this role. Can you give me some questions I should ask this interviewer? And also like what are good answers looking like, and what does a good answer look like, and also what does a bad answer look like? So I kind of do it more so from the eyes of the interviewer rather than the interviewee.
Amazing. I think that's a very, very intelligent insight. Thanks a lot for sharing that, Tiffany. Now, one more question that, yes, you are already using AI for this. For about this whole process, what is the thing that frustrates you the most?
I think one of the most frustrating things that I notice is actually when I'm interview or even just trying to land interviews, especially for inbound roles that I'm getting through LinkedIn. A lot of hiring companies will automatically they change their their tone completely once they realize that you've been unemployed for a couple of months and or are unemployed. I think it's really interesting where if it's inbound, they're very kind and they're like, oh, we're really interested in like talking to you. But once I've said like, oh, I've been unemployed, like their tone completely shifts. So I think that's one of the biggest frustrations I've had in terms of the interview process when I'm interviewing with companies.
Knowing the scenarios. Okay, cool. Scenarios which are not under our control. Okay. Anything else that frustrates you about the preparation as a whole? Because I'm sure you'll be applying for many jobs.
Yeah, I guess also the same as Arpita mentioned, just when you're applying to companies that have a lot that are bigger, just getting responses for interviews. I think sometimes mine kind of fluctuates in between. Sometimes I'm getting a lot versus sometimes I'm getting none. And the ratio I think is really skewed where like you'll apply to 100 jobs, right? But then you'll get responses from maybe 3 of them. So I think that's probably one of the biggest frustrations.
Cool. Wonderful. Yes. Anything else that you would want to mention, Tiffany, here? Anything like some parting points?
Also just tailoring my resume, because I do use like job scan and things like that. But I also always want to make sure that, my resume doesn't sound like completely, AI, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be just completely AI generated. Also just making sure that it still has like a human touch to it. But I think that can also be very tiring when you're applying to like 10 plus jobs a day. It takes a lot of time to really customize your resume for each job.
Cool. Amazing. Thank you, Tiffany. Yes, I think we are done with the couple of interviews. Okay. So everyone tell me, after understanding the conversation that we had so far, okay, do you guys believe that we are in a better position to build a better product? Tell me yes or no in the chat. Just after spending 5 minutes in order to go ahead and have some conversations. Right? So now what will happen is that when I'm going ahead and prompting Lovable or any other product, I'm going to actually come with empathy. Okay. So now I have 2 scenarios. First is I was creating a product to help you prepare better for the interview. Right? But when I'm talking to real people, I'm able to understand that getting into cracking an interview is an issue, but getting in an interview is also a major problem. Okay. So now I have to take a product decision, whether I have to focus on helping people get into an interview or I need to focus on going ahead and maybe helping people to crack an interview. Okay. And that will depend upon the company strategy and my personal goals and my personal company goals. Right. So this is what a product manager will do. These are the things that AI cannot replace right now. Right. The second part is I can also go ahead and now create better features. Right now, I am sure that people, let's say how many people have submitted it right now. Yes, 115 people, which is more than 50% people in the session today have actually built some product and they have submitted it. Okay. I am sure that most of you, because you were given limited time, you have just given a simple prompt that I'm going to give you a job description. Give me a detailed interview preparation guide. Right. Everyone has given this. But now by understanding Tiffany and Arpita, I can say that I could give a slightly better prompt. The better prompt is I can go ahead and ask that rather than just giving me a guide, also go ahead and customize the guide for me, which is I'm going to upload my resume. Go ahead and give me the frequently asked questions. I can go ahead and structure it accordingly. Okay, so I'll go ahead and mention the important parts. Okay, first is Arpita has told me that she's looking for these roles, PM, PMM, and user research. So this will give me some kind of data that I can test upon. So right now I was only testing on product manager roles, but now I will also test it on user research and product marketing manager, product like resources as well. I want to make it a product for everyone, right? Similarly, Naukri, referral, and LinkedIn. When I'm building this product to create a guide, rather than getting users to copy the job description and paste it on my platform, I can also create a simple Chrome extension where on all of these platforms, user will just click a button on the job description, and then it will automatically be giving you the guide. Right? These ideas I will not get if I'm not going ahead and talking to the users. Right? Similarly, What she does is she looks at revising notes, going to YouTube's case studies and ebooks. So in my prompt to generate the guide, I can ask the AI. So this is how my prompt is going to look like right now. From the job description, create a detailed interview prep guide. Right? This is the simple base prompt, but I'm not happy with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the interview prep guide should contain skills needed and matching score with my resume. Right? Frequently asked questions. Right? And Arpita has also mentioned that she practices. Okay. Create an interview simulator for this role, which is ask question, wait for answer, ask follow-up questions. Right? I can also go ahead. So Arpita has told me that, and Tiffany has also told me that it's also a stress to find the jobs. Okay. So I can also add one more feature to my product. That feature could be find relevant jobs which match the same criteria. Right? And also a preparation guide with all the concepts explained. Right? What are the other insights? This is a very good insight that Tiffany has told, which is reverse prompting. Okay. I can also give it like a additional sentence, which is write the guide as if you were the interviewer who is creating this guide to help the best candidates win this role. Right? Just with a couple of interactions, I was able to go ahead and do this. Okay. Now imagine that I could have got maybe half an hour or 1 hour in order to develop this product. I could have talked to more users. I could have done more market research, more user research by looking at job descriptions, looking at people's issues. So I'll go to Glassdoor. I'll understand the interview preparation questions of multiple companies. Right? People write their responses on Glassdoor as in, this was my interviewer experience at this company. I'll understand the issues and then I am going to go ahead and create an effective product. Right? So this is how you go ahead and do product management, guys. Okay. So I will just go ahead and I can copy this in Google AI Studio or anywhere that you want. Okay. First, I'll go ahead and give it to ChatGPT. Help me create a detailed prompt for Google AI Studio for this. Okay. Right now, this is very unstructured, but it will create good. Pasted by the user. Look at this. Right? Understand, just a couple of interactions with people is going to improve the product so much. So if you are now, if vibe coding can do so much for you, you can spend more time with the users. The biggest pain point of product managers so far was that they need to focus more on delivery and execution, that they are not able to focus on discovery. Now it is your time to focus on discovery. Right? I can just go ahead and copy this. And then I'm going to go to Google AI Studio back to start, do this and this. Let's see what happens. Yes. Everyone tell me on a scale of 1 to 5 if you found this session practical before we could stop. Yes. So my only recommendation to everyone is, guys, understand vibe coding is important. It is important, right? It is, but it is not a skill that is going to take you a lot of time to learn. I can assure you that you go ahead and sit today and you don't do anything, just for 1 hour, you focus on using this tool, you will be able to go ahead and learn vibe coding as much as you want. Right? You will be ahead of 90% people who have not even created an account on Lovable or Google AI Studio. Right? But when everyone is able to build these skills, what will matter is your product sense. Right? So now let me go ahead and give you the real picture. Okay. Now look at this. This is a very important part of the session today. Right? Look at this. I told you at the start of the session that this is what it happens. You have an idea. You wipe code and right. How many of you agree with this? Yes or no in the chat? How many of you agree with this? Yes or no in the chat? Correct. So what you need is, you do not get a good idea just like that. Right? Good ideas come from right kind of user and market research. Right? After that, first you do user and market research. Then you understand that whether this particular thing actually matches your business goals or not. So you need some understanding of business strategy, right? After that, you are going to understand other parameters, which is what is going to be the UX, how are you going to validate, how are you going to communicate to stakeholders, right? And if in case you have to go ahead and use AI, even for doing the right kind of prototyping, you have to prioritize the right features, right? And if you are building an AI product, then understand AI products are non-deterministic by nature. So if you are building AI products, you have to understand something called as context engineering, how LLMs work, how to write your evaluations, what is agentic AI, understanding how to set up the right kind of guardrails, right? And also understanding how you are able to measure everything, which is analytics, right? And apart from this, product managers today are also supposed to understand the nuances of RAG as well, right? And after that, once you have done all of these things, you have to do the testing, security audit, UX audit, so that the product is useful. And eventually you are going to go ahead and create a go-to-market strategy and a compelling retention strategy. right? And then only if everything works, then you'll be able to launch the product, but no product has worked on launch. You have to keep on iterating. And when you keep on iterating, when you keep on iterating, then you go ahead and build something, right? And when you do this iteration n number of times, that is how you are going to make the real dollars, right? So this is a pain of creating the product. Understand, it is very lazy to say that with vibe coding you can go ahead and build end-to-end products, because vibe coding can take care of a small part which is not to code, right? But still the most important parts are still with the real product builders and real product managers, right? Everyone, a quick yes or no if you are able to understand this. Yes. So this is almost the first time in all of the history when suddenly product managers have become one of the most important stakeholders, right? Who can go ahead and connect so many things, who are going to go ahead and connect so many things together. Okay. So vibe coding is a basic skill now. If you have to operate in a company, if you have to operate in a US company, you have to speak English. If you have to work in a French company, you have to speak French, right? Vibe coding is almost like your native language now. You have to learn this. And the good part is you can learn it in a couple of hours. But that is not going to differentiate you. What is going to differentiate you is your product thinking and product skills. Okay. So this is about the session, guys. Right. I hope everyone was able to learn. Now, I have just one request to everyone, that please make sure that whatever the things that you have built today, go ahead, post that screenshot on LinkedIn. Tag me, tag HelloPM, tag the SheBUILDs community, tag Lovable, tag Anthropic, right? Whatever you are using. Okay. We will go ahead and try to give you feedback in the comments. And I'm sure that if you go ahead and build these things and put it on LinkedIn, many people are going to reach out to you. They are going to ask you how you have built it. It is your time to share with the world what you have built. I have done my part by giving you what I know. Now it is your work to go ahead and spread that knowledge to other people who actually need this. Right? Tell me, share in the chat if you guys are going to go ahead and share what you have built today on LinkedIn. Go ahead, share it, tag me on LinkedIn. I'll be able to give you some repost or like or some kind of feedback comment. I'm sure what you are going to post, that is going to inspire a lot of people to go ahead and code. And also write your story that I was not able to build something, now I can build. So it is magical for me. You have to inspire a lot of people because world is going through a very tough time right now. Yes. Yes, guys. So this is about today's session. I do not want to make this a pitchy session. So if you want to understand what we do at HelloPM, you can just go to hellopm.co. This is the name of the website. You should be able to see a well-articulated curriculum where we teach you everything that I have gone ahead and mentioned in this particular graph. Okay, vibe coding is one of the things that we teach, but the most important part that we teach is product sense and how to build AI products from scratch. Right. So that's it from me, guys. Thanks a lot for being in the session. If someone is not still able to go ahead and go ahead and maybe complete that form, I'm sharing the form in the chat. Please go ahead and fill that form so that we are able to give you the certificates. Okay, but understand it needs a workable link of your prototype. Yes, cool. And also you need link for that guide. Just give me a moment. Yes, this is the link to this guide, guys. It contains almost everything that you need to become a good vibe coder. You don't need anything else apart from this. Yes, cool. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot to Yuna and Grace who were able to make this possible. It wasn't possible without their efforts. Thanks for bringing me, guys. I'm very delighted that I could go ahead and be helpful for you guys for a couple of hours. And I wish a very best of luck to everyone who's trying to build something, and best of luck for people who are trying to search for jobs. And if you need any help, I'm mentioning my email in the chat. Feel free to reach out. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care and happy Women's Day. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye. Thank you.